Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. Welcome to the Giant Bombcast. I'm glad to have you here. You know what? Why don't you take a seat? We'll get you a little cup of water. My fellow co-host here will give you a shoulder rub. And I have a brochure for you to check out. Perhaps, possibly, not investing into a timeshare, but investing your time in listening with your ear holes, your eye holes, and your spirit holes to the Giant Bombcast. I'm your host, Jan Ochoa. He's going to be administering back rubs one at a time. Please form an orderly line with chairs. Jeff Grubb.
I got plenty of oils and brushes to clean out your spirit holes, everybody. Make them gape and let me go to town.
Oh, God.
All right, and then he'll be leading the luncheon retreat out, and we'll be going on a fun little hike outside. Jeff baaaaack.
That's right. We need to air these holes out. Let the air flow through your holes.
Sun your perineum.
Yep. I'm your leader. I'm your pack leader. Happy to do it. Pull up your pants, take out your holes, and let's dance.
I think I'm gonna add like a couple words to my running document of words not to say at the top of the show because it just immediately throws it off. You know, It's like the Mike Minotti line, words that they'll immediately derail us.
It's the little domino to the big domino. It's like little domino hole and then a big domino gape, and it was just actually one domino in between, and that's it. That's all it took.
Yeah.
Question.
Okay.
When it's a single dot on a domino, is that dot bigger?
No.
Is that
no?
No.
I don't think so. Not on regulation dominoes.
Okay. Maybe with the dominoes you're playing. I have a second question.
Okay. Please.
What the fuck are you doing with this doc in Comic Sans? What are you doing?
I don't know.
I find it very readable. I like it.
What are you doing?
Hey, let me tell you, Comic Sans is a friendly font for folks with dyslexia.
Exactly. I'm finding this very readable, very legible.
Yeah.
I'm all on board.
Everyone always says that to me as a way to be like, hey, you shouldn't be making fun of that font. And I'm just like, nope, I can still make fun of that font. Okay.
Wow. Can't believe Jeff Baaaaack hates dyslexic people.
First.
Wow.
No,
wow.
Of course not. But also, what the fuck? This font sucks.
What would you rather have? Would you have like a Bebas or a Bebas or a what's another font we got? A Calibri?
Roboto?
I'm a big serif freak. Call me the serif freak. Ooh, that's a good boss name.
Serif freak.
Battle the serif freak.
Ooh, lobster.
Now, okay, thanks, Jeff Baaaaack. Now the other document is also Comic Sans as well. If you're watching live,
we did it.
All part of the plan.
The Google Doc of shame and fame is open. Throw in your episode titles. Help us out with that. How's it going, gents? How are things?
Yeah.
We were talking about sports in the pre-pro show, and it's heating up. As someone that got really into basketball last year, wow, what a time to be alive, huh?
How are the Warriors doing? They're playing well, right?
Yo, we can't win outside of the Bay Area. I don't know if that's just a contract type of thing. We should rethink that because we can't always play at home.
No, turns out
no.
That's the thing with hockey. It's like everyone's like a lot of teams are winning on the road. It's like immediately throwing everything off. It got really wild, really fast.
Yeah. I chose the Warriors because I live in the Bay Area, and the Warriors are here in the Bay Area, fair. Despite being called the Golden State Warriors. And let me tell you, anytime that I go onto any type of online forum or Twitter, and was like, oh, I want to see what other people are saying about the Warriors, it's nothing but hatred. People hate the Warriors, it turns out.
Oh my God.
I didn't know this.
So I didn't know that about the Warriors, and I don't know how people feel about, well, I guess I did know that. They also feel that way about the Lakers too, right? The Lakers are like they're like the Yankees.
But that's sort of like
NBA,
a legacy hatred. Right now, the Warriors are the hot thing to hate. I mean,
well, that's combined.
Your boy Draymond's not helping.
My favorite basketball player, Draymond Green, is not helping the case. But with the Lakers, it's not only that legacy, but I think it also has to do with LeBron.
Sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
I made the mistake the other day of finding and entering I guess relax there, Jen. The quote unquote like unofficial New Jersey Devils Discord.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. What was I doing? I don't want to see a couple thousand like hockey pervs who are super pessimistic and never happy about anything.
I mean, were they also racist, or was it just the pessimism?
Oh, dude, that was the one thing that I was just sort of like happy about. I was like, oh, well, at least they're not like garbage people who are just,
that's fantastic.
Subhuman.
Good
yeah, wait, it's a low bar. It's a low
bar, but we're clear on it.
But that freaked me out. I had to leave there because that place was just too gnarly. But yeah, fan bases are a hell of a thing.
Yeah, I think that's just across the board, right? Just like we shouldn't have given each other the power to have this discourse. Steve Jobs was right.
He was right. All you'll ever need is 1,000 songs in your pocket. He was right. Also, I really think I hit a point because I used to let playoff hockey consume me in a way that was definitely not like healthy for sure. And this was when I was a lot younger because it's been a while since the Devils have been good. But I just let it get to me in a way that it would like consume me. I couldn't do anything the day of a game. Right. In 2012, when the Devils were playing the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Final, I was in like some sort of like conscious coma where I like was able to operate and like get myself to places back and forth to work. But like I was consumed by it. And after a while, you're just like, man, grow the fuck up. It's okay. You just gotta, and then they made it to the Stanley Cup final after beating the Rangers, as we all know. And E3 overlapped with the final and they were playing the Kings, and it was like the worst E3 of my life because I was such a bitch about it the whole time. Anyway, just take everything in moderation.
It's pretty dumb how we let like sport, like why does this affect me? Why am I sad because a bunch of strangers I never met lost a kids game? Like, this is really dumb, Jeff, but I let it happen.
And you like a different business on ice than the other business on ice, and it's like, okay, cool.
I just really like cars on ice, guys. Stop shaming.
I get it.
Gotta go fast. That's fantastic, Izzy Azumi. Yes, that's exactly what Draymond wanted to do when he stomped on another player. That's why he's my favorite. Takes the game into his own hands, or his feet, more so. Gentlemen, what about we talk about some video games?
Hey.
The opposite of a ball, and I don't think this is the actual opposite of a ball, but I'm going to say it is a cube. Just like the cubes you would experience in playing Minecraft. And Jeff Grubb, you've been playing Minecraft Legends.
Yeah, I played a little bit last night. I wanted to like get some hands-on time with this bad boy and kind of get some ideas of like what it is. It is. So I played a little bit, played a couple hours. It's kind of a crappy Pikmin, basically. It's not like a full-on, full-blown, real-time strategy game. So you have your hero character.
Yeah.
And your hero character has a sword and runs around on a horse and goes to places. And then you can collect at least early on in the game where I'm at, a handful of units by sending out these fairies to go get resources from trees and rocks and iron, things like that. And then as they're gathering those resources, you can go just wander around. They're going to do it for you. It's not like some ongoing thing. They're just going to do it real quick. They'll like sort of strip the land and you can keep going and keep playing. And then once you have enough resources, you can set down these little closets that'll spawn your monsters, and they can join your team, and you can spawn them as much as you need, or until you hit that limit, which again is very small. And then you go and do the combat, which is, it'll be a mission. Go clear out this encampment of piglins, which is like the enemies are pigs. Yes, exactly. I'm not saying a racist epithet. They're actually just called piglins.
Chill, internet.
Yeah, chill for once. So go clear out the encampment, and that means basically finding a way to get inside their base, and that might mean, okay, use some of those resources that you've gathered to either build a bridge or build some steps and get in there, and then then attack their gate, bring their gate down, and then go in there and destroy the monster closet where they're spawning from, and whatever else, whatever other structures they have in there. Maybe they have a tower that's shooting stuff down at you. It's as simple as it sounds. It's as simple as that. And I've also found like it's not super satisfying to engage with, because I think the combat feels mushy. Me swinging my sword, whatever, doesn't feel great. Sending my little troops, my little clump of troops, a little stone guy, a little wooden guy that shoots bow and arrows, say, hey, there's a guy over there, go attack him. It's like you kind of like aim in the direction, you hit a button, and they will run at stuff and they'll attack. Or you can hold down control on the keyboard and mouse over where the enemy is and say, okay, go attack that specific thing. In either case, I didn't feel like I was doing much. Like that stuff was happening, but the feedback was not feeling great in terms of like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm taking that thing out. It wasn't, like Vampire Survivors is like really good at just making you feel like you are attacking the hell out of something.
Right.
Here it's like I might as well not have been, is how it felt. But then you're gonna clear out that encampment. The enemies will stop spawning there, and then the game will be like, okay, now here's a waypoint way over here. Go do this thing, which is pretty similar to the last thing you're doing. It might be more fun multiplayer playing with friends, but or playing against each other.
Okay.
But there's just not much there. It is a pretty slight experience based on what I saw.
That's how I felt with Minecraft Dungeons, where on paper, it seemed like, oh, I could like this, like a very, very light Diablo-style type of game set in the Minecraft universe. Not that I guess it matters too much, or even that it factored in. But even then, like, we checked it out the one stream or quick look we did, and I was like, all right, I'm done now. I don't need to check this out again. It's kind of baffling me how much, not that anyone is necessarily fumbling the Minecraft bag, because it's still doing gangbusters.
No, it's doing fine, yeah.
But, like, expanding Minecraft into other games, because we have Minecraft Dungeons. What was the AR game? Earth? Minecraft Earth?
Yeah, Minecraft Earth. Holy shit, I forgot about that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, wow, huh.
And, like, in theory, that seemed like a great idea. In actual execution, just didn't stick the landing. And now it sounds like Minecraft Legends also not quite doing what you'd like it to be doing.
Do you think Minecraft would be better off kind of going the Mario route and being like, here's a Minecraft sports game, and here is a Minecraft party game? And I feel like if games like those hit this level of quality where it's like, it looks nice, this game looks nice, it looks like the stuff, the aesthetics are all there, and it has the aesthetics that have attracted me to Minecraft in the first place, or that I've learned to love over time, and now I'm just doing this fun kind of throwaway thing with the aesthetics that I like. I mean, Mario games do that all the time. Mario sports games are like that. Mario party games are like that, and people eat them up because it's like, well, it's the fun aesthetics I like in a throwaway setting. When it's like this real-time strategy, it's like we're making a Diablo. We're gonna make a Minecraft Diablo.
Yeah.
But that's a big boy game. What do you do? You gotta kind of have to like make that work. And I feel like they're not quite getting to the level they need to with like those full games.
I feel like they could easily ape some of the early Lego games, or even Skywalker Saga, right? And kind of get away with some type of Minecraft style game like that. I feel like maybe how many recognizable characters are there from Minecraft other than like the mobs and Steve? Right?
Yeah,
that's
fair.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
As someone who's played a decent amount of dungeons, how does this like compare?
I only played a little bit of Dungeons. I think I would prefer Dungeons to this, but
Okay.
I think Dungeons still has a little bit more going on, or it probably will. It works really well as a multiplayer game. I think this one is like, yeah, it's on Game Pass. You could probably convince. I bet there's a lot of Minecraft fans, young Minecraft fans, that are gonna super get into this and really like it. But I think if I'm thinking from our perspective, like trying to convince a friend to come, hey, learn how to play this game so we could play head to head in Minecraft Legends, that's just not a good sales pitch. I think most people are going to balk at that and be like, I'm good, let's go. Like, whereas Minecraft Dungeons is, well, no, we'll work together. You shoot the bow and arrow, I'll get the sword. It's all going to be fine. That's a real easy thing to sort of get someone to buy in on. Yeah, I think it's an uphill battle on that front.
I think the problem is vanilla Minecraft. It's still so open that kids specifically can have like a different style of adventure each time they just load up a new map, right? So that's it's hard to beat that for some kids.
Sure.
Especially because like I don't remember there being a big building component to dungeons, if at all.
No.
Right?
No.
And
Yeah,
like that's
right.
like the big thing with Minecraft.
And they bring that in. Like I said, you can bring stairs. You can also bring walls, and that was one of my favorite parts of doing the combat. The piglins were like, okay, they're going to be here in a few minutes, so you have a second to set up your defenses.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, I collected all these resources and stuff, and so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go grab the outskirts here. I'm going to set up some walls, and then I'm going to set up some turrets, and all that stuff felt good. And then the combat started, and it's like, yeah, the walls are stopping them. The turrets are kind of shooting bow and arrow pretty slowly, but it still wasn't like great. But it was fun setting that stuff up at the very least.
Did you get either of you check out that story-based Minecraft game, Minecraft Story, at all?
I played the first chapter. I really liked it. Yeah,
Okay.
but I didn't see it through. But what's his Patton Oswalt is the voice of the main character in that, and that's cool.
Yeah, my kid did it. He played. It wasn't it just the choose your own adventure thing, right? Yeah, he did. I think he blew through the whole thing actually.
All right. Well, I mean, Minecraft has like its grip over like the youth still, which is wild.
I'll say this though, like
I made a oopsie whoopsie fucky wucky and spilled something. I'm gonna go grab a towel, right? I'll be right back.
Okay.
I do think for what it's worth,
He just
say what?
peed himself right now. That's what he didn't want to say.
He's standing though, and it's on his desk. So that is an achievement and an oopsie doopsie foxy woxy.
Wow.
So two things can be true at the same time.
Is noise canceling amazing?
Amazing. I do still think like I don't know. I guess this is an unscientific sample, but I do think that I do think Roblox is really making a dent in Minecraft sort of like mind share.
Yeah.
For worse. I'm not even going to say for better or worse. I'm just going to definitively say for worse. But yeah, that's I think like it's funny because I feel like when Minecraft first came on the scene, everyone's like, oh, it's like this pixel voxel sort of thing, and everyone that it has a certain look to it, and then Roblox becomes popular, and you're like, wow, Minecraft really looking like a state of the art video game. Anyway, that's the hellscape.
And I think it goes back to what like if you need more Minecraft, well, guess where you can get more Minecraft?
Yeah.
Like there's always some new stuff happening there. The marketplace always has something new from like a community developer doing something strange and different, and it doesn't cost all that much. So and sometimes that stuff is free. There's always some. And if you want to go play the Java version, there's all the mods. And you can turn that into whatever you want to turn it into. So yeah.
Yeah, for folks that have not checked in on Minecraft, I know during early parts of the pandemic we had the huge series. But definitely try downloading a shader pack and just playing that game, and it is like the most zen thing you can do for like a couple minutes and just lose yourself.
Yeah, I love the official RTX one when they were doing the ray trace and stuff.
Oh hell yeah,
just incredible,
delicious,
hell yeah,
delicious. Well, going from cubes to tiles, I'm continuing my nostalgia trip through Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, and I just want to say that, I miss Mega Man. I where's he been?
We all do.
What's he doing? Like what's like? I feel like this was such an inspired spin-off of the Mega Man series that I'm pretty sure was well received at the time. It warranted.
Making them.
Yeah, they made 6 of these games.
Fuck, yeah.
And like it's great. I have more of a fondness for these games than I do for like your Mega Man 1 through 8 and even the X series. The Mega Man 0 series on the GBA I also holds a nice spot in my heart of nostalgia. But this is so tight. There's been multiple indie games, One Step from Eden specifically, that have copied this combat style, but that is more of a frenetic, fast-paced game versus this, which is a little bit slower and more actually turn-based. I just bring it back, Capcom. You bring a Resident Evil back. Bring back Mega Man. I want to see what the Reploids are up to and the Mavericks and all that jazz.
Been?
Yeah.
Look, if they found Matt Dillon, they can find Mega Man. Okay.
Yeah.
They found Matt Dillon. They put him in that new Wes Anderson movie. Right. It's great.
Yeah,
Really?
it's true.
They did.
Yeah.
Mega Man's probably in the same shady hotel that Matt Dillon was in. So just keep knocking on doors.
Maybe they're roommates. We don't know.
Yeah.
But put them in a game. It's not that hard.
Hey, and you know what? I could easily see a Mega Man movie doing well. Doing well.
Sure.
You know?
Do you think
Not Mario numbers, but
what's
like
that boy's name?
No.
What's the boy's name?
not
that's in all the
Timothy
movies?
Chalamet.
Yeah, that's the boy. That's the boy I was thinking of.
He's too sad of a boy.
Timothy Chalamet.
He is a sad boy. He looks
I think sad
looks
Mega
like
Man.
a sad
I like it.
puppet. He's like a
I'm
sad little
Jan,
Muppet
thank you
boy.
so much for thinking of the boy for me.
No problem.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I want the I want the best friend from Jojo Rabbit to be Mega Man, just because I like that kid and his English
Nice.
accent.
I love him. Yes.
Oh,
Good
okay.
call out.
Yes, absolutely. That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. And that movie's already 4 years old. That's wild.
Oh
Whoa.
God. Yeah, I know I was a little bit mixed on recommending the Battle Network collection, but if you want like a JRPG to sink your teeth into, or like a very surprisingly interesting story, you have 6 games to choose from, my friends. Also, tiles. So many tiles, and all these kids and these adults in the series are just constantly talking about jacking in and encouraging each other to jack in. So there you go.
Get down with that.
You seen that Barbie movie trailer where they're
they're having a beach
you
off?
off?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a beach off, and then I'll beach off both of you at the same time. I keep wondering. I'm like, I love this. I'm gonna make no bones about it. I love everything that's happening here. Who's this movie for? Is it for me? Because that's wild if it's for me.
Yeah.
Like making a Barbie
that
movie
is
for
such
Jeff
a-
Grubb
that
is a pretty messed up thing to do, but I'm for it.
I love that. I love the fact that like you are so correct. What a good observation. They made a fucking Barbie movie and they were just sort of like, okay, now what? Right? Like we got this license.
Is Eric Wareheim available? I mean, I guess go
They're
for
like,
it.
I love that. Oh, I love that.
Christopher Nolan had to get out of the way because he didn't want to get in the blast radius of Barbie.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that happened since splitting the atom is the Barbie movie for sure. Yeah.
Well, from one tile game to another tile game, Grub, you and I have been checking out Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp.
How's that?
It is. It's still really good. Like
Yes.
it still is those games, and it's still actually it holds up in a way that I'm surprisingly happy with. I've gone back to these games a million times. I'm like, yeah, I still enjoy this, but like having it with the modern visuals, which I think they are hit and miss with me. I'm fine with them, but I still like the pixels of the original better, right? I mean, is that how you feel?
That's exactly how I feel.
And it's like, okay, so we lost a little bit of something in translation there. I felt that way about Link's Awakening, and over time with the Link's Awakening remake, I was like, you know what? I'm glad that we have both. And I think by the time I'm through with these, I'm like, I'll be glad that we have both. But as for the gameplay, it's like, these were always tactics games as puzzle games. It's like we're going to set you up with a little puzzle box, and you need like, yeah, sure, you're doing tactics, but really it's like this little puzzle, and you need to figure out how to move your pieces around to solve the puzzle. And there's been more refined takes on that concept since then. I mean, this is not Into the Breach. Into the Breach is like that idea distilled down to its barest essentials and presented it in a perfect way. And Into the Breach is so good. Surprisingly though, this is like, actually, you know what? They kind of figured it out right away. They had, right away. There was a bunch of Famicom Wars before this, but for me, as far as I'm concerned, they figured it out right away. Where Advance Wars was basically that same concept, just a little bit, it takes a little bit longer, a little bit larger. And it still really works for me. I think that a lot of it comes down to they just kind of figured out the math right away of how much damage should this thing do if you have a tank and they have a medium tank and you're in a city and they're on the streets, so they're completely open. And it's like, just kind of think of like, it's like selling and wrestling. If you sell the move exactly the way it like looks like the damage it should do, well, that's how this works. It's like it sells exactly right. And so you can kind of feel in your bones like, okay, if I make this move over here, I can move over there, this will probably work. And so when it all kind of actually executes the way you imagine it in your head, it's like that feels really good. And then you can kind of come up with these strategies. Like, I mean, my favorite one so far is I got into this battle with Eagle, who is this air professional. He's a guy that's really good with air units, and he was just destroying my team. And we like, I'm like, okay, we're gonna either have to start this level over or kind of make a last chance shot. And so I took 2 of my infantry. I put one in an APC, which is just like a little bus that can carry people around and reload people. And I put another one in a helicopter, a delivery helicopter. And I sent them in opposite directions. And I'm like, well, the helicopter's probably going to get there. And then one of his units came out of nowhere and destroyed that thing. But I was able to get the bus around to the side enough to drop the guy off in the mountains and just sneak him over. And I had like one other attack unit left. But I was able to get to their headquarters because they committed completely to attacking me and take it over and actually win the level. And those close calls are exciting, and it worked exactly how I expected it would. If like this strategy is actually going to work, and it did. So again, it felt really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm about halfway through Advance Wars 1.
Oh,
and it's at about 10 hours of gameplay. It says so. It's meaty, it's beefy, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. It's a nice time to be a fan of tiles from the GBA era. I'm glad that the pincer movement worked out for you. Speaking about Christopher Nolan from earlier, I think the only thing I'm not digging about it is the updated look to it. Everyone is far too smooth and shiny. It kind of feels more like
very smooth.
Speaking of Barbie,
hey, kind of feels too much like they're kind of going for like an army men look, but not going all the way to that. But also trying to maintain some of the art style from the original game. I would have just preferred sprites, but I think that's where my head is at lately, where it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Sprites. Stop pushing this new lemon lime soda, everyone. What is Starry? What is this Starry?
Go back to Sprite.
Give me Sprite. I like the dirty Sprite.
Was Starry the replacement for Sprite or something else? Was it 7-Up? Fuck off, Starry, either way.
I don't know. Could Advance Wars be Jan's entry into speedrunning? I've never thought about speedrunning Advance Wars, and that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Right. It would just be like you have to just memorize everything, right? So
yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny.
If they give you a timer for each level complete, maybe that would be something. Like just do like speedrun 1 level. That could be fun.
It's funny because I feel like I really enjoy tactics games, as we all know. In tile-based games, as we all know exhaustively at this point. But I don't know squat about chess, which might be the tile game if we think about it. Yeah.
I do think about it. I think about it a lot. Chess is big with the kids, right? That's everyone's getting into chess.
Chess is huge with the kids.
Big time.
I think there were some sexy chess influencers on TikTok, and now everyone's like, "All right, well, I mean, listen."
Queen's Gambit from.
I think Queen's Gambit was a big motivating factor. Yes.
That sounds right.
That's, I mean,
Anya Taylor doing her work.
We don't, That's
right.
I need to calm myself down. We were talking about what the kids like. We got our finger on the pulse, just like Jeff Grubb has his finger on the pulse, man.
Yes, I do.
That works. We'll allow it.
All right.
I'm because it's true. I played some Pulseman. This is one of the new Genesis games that got added to Nintendo Switch Online last week, I think. And I didn't know much about this game. I've never played it before. It's from Game Freak.
Right. Yes.
Yes, this is a Game Freak game. And
I also check this out. Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like a lot of their other stuff, it's like, oh, there's a lot going on here. Like it's mechanically pretty, it's not Fallout or something or an RPG, but for a platformer, it's got a lot going on. It's got this basic mode where it's like, okay, you play as Pulseman and you have an attack. And the attack has different inputs, so you can press up an attack and you'll do this like Pele kick and it looks really cool, or you can press down an attack and you'll do a leg sweep, and that's fine. But what you can do is if you double tap the directional pad, you can do this dash and sort of build up this electricity. And then if you attack at that point, you shoot out a ball of electricity, or if you hit this other button, you'll turn into a ball of electricity and shoot around the room. And you can use these either for offense or for solving puzzles or in boss fights. And it's like, oh, that's like so I'm like constantly finding myself like, okay, I'm going to dash, build up my electricity. Now I'll go into this next room, which I know is going to have an enemy, and I'll be ready for them. All right, they're coming at me, ball of electricity. Let's dash again. And now like, oh, I see a little platform up there. Let's see if I can maneuver myself so that when I shoot off at the 45-degree angle that I'm going to go off at, I can get up there without bouncing off the wall. And if I do bounce off the wall, I can cancel the dash, electricity dash in midair and try to maneuver myself over there. So there's just a lot going on. Like for me, it's no drill dozer, but it's very playable, and I'm really enjoying myself with it. So yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, Game Freak. They really know how to make a fun game. It's what happened.
Hey, this is my question. Exactly, what's happening? Because when I think about Game Freak, I now think about 3 games, which is Pulseman, Pokemon, of course, and Pocket Card Jockey. Right? Is that
Pocket
correct?
Card Jockey. Yeah.
And Pocket Card Jockey and Pulseman, I feel like have a lot of people hyped whenever they come back into the zeitgeist.
That's right.
What's the deal, Game Freak? You can't apply the Pokemon to the rest of them, huh? Like, what about a Pikachu game that's just Pikachu volt tackling around? Or like, I bet on a bunch of ponies or horse-based, dog-based Pokemon that are racing around.
Fair question.
It's like, I wonder if the various stakeholders in Pokemon, would be Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, and Nintendo, and Creatures Inc. or whatever. What if that makes it like kind of a headache to try to make anything else with Pokemon? So they're like, we'll just make the Pokemon games that we're making, and then we'll go do these other things for fun. They don't have anything to do with Pokemon, so we can actually exercise our creative freedoms or whatever.
Oh, all right. Game Freak, I think you know how to make a game, so I won't get on your case too much. So Pulseman,
yeah,
now out.
Oh, yeah. Make a Pulseman 2 and a Drill Dozer 2 and a Pocket Card Jockey 2. Just make sequels to all these games. Let's go.
Yeah, they know how to make games. What's happening? Is it just because they want the Pokemon to move faster? I don't know.
I think it's because they keep making them bigger in other ways, and then they're not sufficiently staffed up to actually handle all those ambitions, which is wild because everyone else has figured it out. Just Game Freak that hasn't.
Also, yeah, Happy Drama. How come there hasn't been like a Pikachu platformer game by now, or any of them?
That is wild. Yeah.
What are we doing? All right. I briefly want to talk about this before we get to the game of the week. I've been occasionally taking a couple light breathers in Breath of the Wild.
Ooh!
Oh my gosh! Why? Why would you be doing that? Is something happening? Like,
I'm very excited.
I just like sliding down the mountain actually on a shield because I think it's hilarious, and then immediately falling down. And that's all I've actually been doing on top of finishing my Korok seed collection finally. But yeah, it turns out this is a very, very good game, and I'm excited.
Finally decided.
Yeah.
I think I was like on the fence way too much earlier when it initially came out because of the weapon degradation, and I just really still can't get into it. So now I just avoid all combat, and it doesn't matter. The one thing I wish it did have though, I wish it had like Shadow of the Colossus style stamina, where it's like I can make that like last jump or just find a bunch of lizards from the get-go, which I guess I can do. What am I saying?
You can. I think you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. Forget all that. I think the beauty part, and I'm excited to see how it may carry over into Tears of the Kingdom, is I just want to see how people break it in a couple months. You know, like
yes,
my whole TikTok algorithm right now is just I'm not going to say the other part. It's all
we all know
Breath of the Wild folks just going ham with it, and it's like how do you do this? Like I can't. And some of them will have the their controller and like their inputs mapped out. And I'm like, you're treating this like it's a fighting game. How are you doing this? Your APM is like you're playing StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
That I just can't wait for folks to get like the tool set to mess around with Breath of the Wild. And I wanted to ask you, or Tears of the Kingdom, I want to ask you gentlemen, what is it about Breath of the Wild that has kind of given it like this second, third, fourth, fifth wind for folks to just have that be their game in the same way like a Skyrim has?
I think there's something very primal about putting you in a world and putting goals in view and saying, here's some tools, go figure it out. Like, because I think for a lot of people, I think I'll immediately spark something. And then for a subset of that group, that spark just turns into a raging fire where it's like, I've already figured out all the basics here. What else can I do? What else can I do? What else can I do? And they kind of almost can't even help themselves because it's just like this. There is so much potential creativity here that and it is it's recognizable. It's still Zelda, so when you share it, people want to see it, want to see all the wild things, the wild ways in which you're breaking it. So it's like this feedback loop where it's like I want to express myself, and then people want to watch you express yourself. It's I think it's a kind of a match made in heaven.
And I think the beauty part is like, sorry, baaaaack, just real quick, is like, hey, also if none of that clicks with you, there's still a regular ass game.
Yeah.
Sorry, baaaaack, go ahead.
I think it's the key was the surprising amount of things that popped out of that, right? With all the content sharing and whatnot. I think for me, I remember it was just not a game I was expecting to have that kind of shelf life. And I think that's the lasting effect that thing has had.
Since we're all ramping to Tears of the Kingdom, have either of you wanted to dip back into Breath of the Wild or thought about just holding off until that time comes for Tears?
You are out tomorrow for Four Swords Fiesta, and for some reason, someone put Hyrule Hustle on the schedule. Hyrule Hustle 2?
Yes.
And I'm like, wait, what? And so I think I'm going to be playing.
This you have to play. Okay, right.
I have to. So yes, but I'm still honestly tonight to get ready for that. I'm going to have to go into Breath of the Wild and get to a certain segment of the map. And I'm just going to poke around and have some fun. I'm going to try to get a couple of hours in tonight where I can just get reaccustomed to it. And then hopefully what will happen is I'll have a little bit of time after Hyrule Hustle 2 to spend some time with it because I'm ready. And I want to like kind of have a goodbye to Breath of the Wild before I really go whole hog on Tears of the Kingdom, which I'm very much planning to do. I think the day that's out, I just want to be streaming that on the site. So yeah.
Yeah, a good little kiss on the forehead before you leave.
Exactly. Like, thank you. Sleep now, sweet prince. Yes.
baaaaack.
I think I'm done.
Okay.
I feel like that's all I can legally say. No, yes, I'm done.
Okay.
Done playing Breath of the Wild.
When does Tears of the Kingdom come out?
May 12th.
May 12th.
What day is that? Is that a Friday?
That is a Zelda day.
Usually Nintendo is Fridays, right?
Yeah, that is a Friday, yes.
I mean, Grub, I'm just saying, after Game S mornings, let's
do it.
Let's just go ham. Let's just stream it.
Let's do a double. Yeah. We'll just kind of like shoot ideas back and forth while doing it. Fucking put it on the schedule right now, everybody. That day, we're going.
There we go.
Is that Mother's Day weekend?
Well, we should all know this by now.
Is that what we're saying? Is that
Mother's Day weekend? Yeah.
You will now have to choose between your mother.
No, but Tears of the Kingdom is for the mothers out there. This is for them.
Moms love Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zelda is someone you can bring home to meet the parents, and things will go swimmingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Link is a prize himself, I think.
Okay, real fantasy cast here. Who would play Zelda in a movie if it's like animated? Anya Taylor-Joy?
Timothy Chalamet.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, sure. Anya Taylor-Joy, she did Princess Peach. She could do Zelda
Put her
as
in
well.
all the Nintendo movies. Samus? I could see a Samus.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Zelda. It's got to be, I think, Keira Knightley. There you go.
Okay.
Jane Lynch.
Even better.
Wild. Okay. Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
That makes too much sense. No, never mind.
Who was the lady queen from the Avatar water people? Was that Kate Blanchett?
No, that was
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, yes.
Give me Kate Winslet.
Also from the Steve Jobs movie from 2015.
Yeah. Someone have her do her Polish accent. Yeah.
Yes.
Someone said Jennifer Coolidge. I'd be all right.
God, I wish Lucy was here to do her
I've been
Jennifer
waiting
Coolidge.
here for so long. Where is this fool?
And then Adam Sandler as Link. Yes. Can you
now
imagine?
We're having fun.
He's just
we're having fun.
Give The Legend of Zelda, the animated movie that may or may not happen, to Gennady Tarkovsky. Give it to him.
Jesus, that would That is a pull right there. That is actually the right answer.
And throw Popeye in it just to make him happy for once.
Sure.
Yeah, give him Popeye.
He just really wants this Popeye
Nintendo has the
movie.
rights to Popeye, right? They made the Popeye arcade game. I think they specifically lost them, but they can get him back for Gennady. I can't say his name ever.
Gennady. Anyway, that's Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom coming out very, very soon. If you got nothing to do on a Wednesday or later in the afternoon, tune in to Grub and Dan as they Hyrule Hustle 2. I wanted to put Electric Boogaloo, but it just wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I think Mike's going to be my opponent for that, everybody, so look out.
Electric
or Fuckle Up.
Bogoblin 2. Almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah, we're gonna
workshop. We still got another day.
Absolutely.
All right, folks, we've gone here, and now it is time to unveil the Game of the Week, Dead Island 2. I'm so surprised.
Believe it?
I am so surprised, boys.
Yeah, you guys, I talked about this last week, so you guys pop off. I feel like I oversold it a little bit last week, and yet I think most people are having a pretty good time with it, right?
Yeah.
I think you did. Yeah, when I heard you say what you said, I was like, he's overselling it. But no. Why do I like this game? Why do I like this stupid
I'm asking
game?
the same thing.
Why do I like this dumb, stupid game so much? It's fun.
How
it's
they
just
do it?
Fun. I think there's a lot I don't want to do in this game. To be clear,
sure.
There's a whole bunch of shit that I couldn't be bothered with. I don't want to hit X over every last goddamn little stupid trinket I find. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about fabrics and adhesives and chemicals and all that stuff. I just want to chop zombies' heads off, and you can do that for a lot of this game. I think some of like the balance is a little out of whack every now and then.
Sure.
I find that to be frustrating. But I think the fact that this game is so linear, and the fact that it is kind of just like plug and play in a way that I'm just like, off I go. And it's forgiving, even though the difficulty does ramp up. It is very forgiving with checkpointing and respawning. And I do think a part of me does want, I'm not at a part yet where I'm really using guns, and I want to do that. I hope that's
I'm not either, and I've heard it's kind of underwhelming. Which okay, the melee is good enough that's fine. But whatever,
Yeah.
we'll get there. We'll see.
I don't even know if like the actual zombie fighting is like my favorite thing. I just think there's something very familiar yet contemporary, and it's just like comfort food in a lot of ways.
I think that's right. It is.
And that's enough for me. And I'm having fun with it. And I, every night when if there's time to play, I'm like, shit, I guess I'm booting this up again. I want to get back there. I want to see it out,
It's a good turn your brain off style game.
Yes.
And like the trappings around it also are inoffensive enough where it's like, okay, this isn't annoying, where it's not pulling me out of it, even though I'm not in it directly. I think for me, and I don't know if this is just me already being a little bit squeamy with blood, but this game is ugly.
Yeah,
it looks great.
rough.
But it is very, very gory. And for folks that maybe fellow little squeamies with Mortal Kombat fatalities, this is definitely not for you.
Yep.
I would have liked some type of comical slider, like a little gore meter of like, all right, you know what? The blood is just purple now.
And like it makes a clown nose sound when you like honk honk when you hit someone with like a hammer.
Oh,
That'd be
fantastic!
all right.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Someone please patch that in. The other odd thing is the multiplayer not being cross-platform, but also 3 players.
With some weird limitations, and I think not having crossplay is very strange in 2023.
Yeah.
Very strange for a game like this. That would be like, of course we want to have that. That should just be, but. It feels like it's the kind of thing that, for in a game under the Embracer Group umbrella, kind of leaving something like that out. That feels like, they are gonna pick and choose their battles because their budgets are only so much. And I think overall, for the most part, they chose their battles appropriately, make it look good, kind of nail a setting. It's Los Angeles. I think they do a pretty good job with Los Angeles.
Yeah, sure.
I like poker. It feels sunny. and the Hollywood sign is on fire. All that stuff it works for me. And then make sure the combat is adequate to very good. And then give them like these different environments that you're going to be working in, and link them together one after the other. Nail that stuff, and everything else we'll just kind of see if we can get to it. Oh, we couldn't get the crossplay. Well, shoot, we're gonna have to put it down anyhow. It's definitely a detriment to the game, but we still had a fun time, and 3 players. Although I'll say I was having pretty much the same amount of fun playing by myself. Playing multiplayer didn't vastly improve it or something like that. I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, I think the multiplayer stuff is definitely fun. I think that's even more forgiving than the stuff we were describing before. I like having done that on YouTube. That was great, but like all the single player stuff is scratching the itch for me. It's funny because playing the multiplayer is what wanted me to go on my own. Like playing, funny. I was like, "Hey, I'm having fun. This is great." But now I want to like just do this myself and see what kind of trouble I can get into.
How did the progression work for you? Like it
carried over
seamless.
Yeah.
Oh, no that's cool.
That is very cool.
Because it basically just it feels like, and again, this is a very sort of like surface level interpretation of how this game's sort of like engine runs, but I think it's more or less like it's always creating this like joinable session, even if it's totally private.
Right.
And I think that's the sort of like module that carries progress.
I wonder if this not being open world also helps that.
That makes
sense. Yeah, probably. You
guys couldn't play with my game. Like my game was too far ahead for you, so you guys couldn't enjoy me, and like that seems to be the big gating factor. But if I want to go back, that's completely open, and that might get frustrating for some people. Like I'm playing these same missions over and over. Can we just please catch up to where I'm at? But I think that is better than the alternative of only one person gets progression. I think this is demonstrably the best way to do it if it's possible to pull off in your game.
Yeah, I think just going back to the sort of like moment to moment stuff, I think you do have to allow yourself to be a little bit more flexible with trial and error with the environmental stuff. I think you have to really, and that stuff isn't laid out completely effectively where you just kind of pick it up. I do find myself like, explosions are not as easy to manage as you would like it to be, right? You kind of have to get creative, and you kind of have to, like, sometimes you throw weapons at explodable stuff. But yeah, I think all in all, it's just so goofy too.
Yeah.
There's just so much goofery in there that isn't eye roll inducing.
I think that bride fight was like, this is working for me. This is like surprisingly funny.
Weird, but it works.
Weird, right?
Like,
yeah.
Like none of the gags are at anyone's expense, really. Right. It's not
for sure.
Like in poor taste at all, which I'm kind of surprised by. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the expectation for a game like this that's been in the works for so long is the humor is going to be from a different time.
Right.
10 years. This is going to be a Duke Nukem Forever situation. It's easy to assume that. And what you got is clearly something was rebooted in the last few years. And that we are they probably used a lot of assets, but most of what we're playing was established probably pretty recently. And this is the third try at getting a slice of that pie. And this is the one that they actually felt good about putting out. And for good reason, it is a solid game.
Yeah. Still a full price title. Still surprised it's not on a Game Pass joint.
It's the easiest game in the world to say, hey, just wait until it's on sale. Like, I mean, it really is, because it's one where I recommend it. I don't recommend it for $70. I think for most people, unless you're a zombie freak, in which case you're already playing it.
You can't help yourself.
And hey, if you don't have a Nintendo Switch and you're not really looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom, and got some cash burning in your pocket, I guess, check out Dead Island 2. It's fun. It's a game-ass game, as we're wanting to say. Boys, any other closing thoughts on Dead Island 2?
I'm probably not going to finish it, as well say. It's 20 hours. There's a lot of stuff happening. But I don't know. I got like 5, 6, 7 hours in there. I'm probably going to play a few more, because it is like, it's like so playable. You just start, and like I think you said you turn your brain off. I'm like, I kind of want a podcast game maybe to get me through the rest of this week, and then we are going to be looking at Redfall. We're going to be looking at Zelda very, very soon. So if I don't finish this, I'm not going to feel too bad. It is one where it's like I got my time out of it, and that was good. And so, yeah, thumbs up for this one. Really well done.
It's so funny you say that. Like, I know we are talking about this game like we're pleasantly surprised, and we're just like, hey, it's fun to play. I want to play it. I want to play it. But it is important to note we will likely not be finishing it. So, like, it is one of those things where you're just like, hey, just a heads up, though, probably not going to get all the way through.
The way I feel about that stuff. Sorry, Jan. That's not that much of a negative against the game.
Totally.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
These days. Yes. It's just like, I got what it was. And actually it's like, I got what it was. And then I kept playing for quite some time.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is actually the big positive for me. If I
without a doubt.
I understand what this is and I want more of it. Like most of the time I'm like, I understand what this is. There's another game. I'm gonna go find out what that's about.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, positive about this. What were you gonna say, Jan? Sorry.
For what it's worth, it does seem like one of those games where if, say, it does go on sale or there's like a DLC that gets dropped and I'm interested in checking back in, I feel like that onboarding process is so fast to get back into it with Dead Island 2 that I could revisit it a couple months from now, perhaps during a Game of the Year blitz, and finish it if I have to. By no means do I think it's top 3 candidate, but it is a front runner, the dark horse, and the runner-up right now for B Game of the Year, baby.
I love it.
Yes, it's definitely like, it's a strong category game. Like if you want to narrow down a category and just like best mind, turn off your brain game. Like, this is going to be up there for that.
Is this Embracer's best game?
I think so. Since the Embracer era has like started in earnest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than Saints Row, right? I never played Saints Row, so I guess I can't speak to that.
It is better than Saints Row.
Yeah. So it's like, if this is the level of game that we are going to get from them when it's like their best effort, sign me up. Let's go.
Sure.
This is fantastic. Let's get 3 or 4 of these a year from all your different studios. If you can hit this level, Embracer Group is actually doing what it sort of set out to do, I think, and I'm completely fine. These do not have to be Game of the Year contenders. They just need to like choose what they're going to do and nail that stuff, and get it out there.
Oh, was the SpongeBob joint? Was that Embracer? This is a little bit better than the SpongeBob game. That game's actually
that SpongeBob one. Yeah,
it's
definitely in different categories, but yes, I see what you're saying.
I mean, they're basically the same game.
Yeah. I mean, guys,
they both hate the ocean. Right?
Yes,
you do not want to see when Mr. Krabs finally loses it and squishes plankton. It is messed up.
I bet.
Rips him in half.
Someone said in chat, and that's why I made the oceans joke. That shit made me laugh. Like I legit laughed out loud when I saw the
fuck like oceans.
Yeah.
It was the one thing I posted to Twitter from this game. It's just that.
Oh my god!
With fuck oceans. It's like real good. It's real good.
So good. Oh, hit me with that because I love that kind of shit.
There's kind of a lot of that. And it's like I remember Rory went to go see it, and he was like, you're in the streamer house, and there's like a bunch of like jokes about streamers. It's like, oh, it's one of those games. But like getting there myself was like. Most of these jokes actually seem pretty on point. Like they have someone who actually knows what they're talking about, and isn't just like reading a Wikipedia page about streamer houses wrote this stuff. And then the rest of the game isn't just like, oh, and here's another streamer house. It's like, well, here's a different circumstance and the kinds of jokes that work in this environment. And for the most part, they're hitting, or they are inoffensive and easy to run past. Like nothing is really causing any issues that make you want to roll your eyes and hit. Oh, I'm gonna close this game now.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. Turns out it's good. Cool.
It is. Yeah. Just straight up a good game. Really strong 3 out of 5.
The skills tree system, skill card system, take it or leave it, but whatever. It's again inoffensive enough.
It does not. The game never gets in its own way. That's its biggest feature.
And hey, that is difficult for a lot of games these days to just get out of their own way. Yep. This feels like this is going to be this year's Neon White, where it has its hold on the staff, but no one ever actually finishes it.
That sounds right.
Perhaps.
Yeah, there we go.
Finish Neon White.
It's too late. It's from last year. You can't touch it anymore.
You're
by the bylaws.
Exactly. That's the rules. Yeah, it's the rules. Damn it says right here in the podcast bylaws. You're right.
We put it in the shredder. The cart, the download. No matter where you played it, Grub, we destroyed it.
I let Dan take an axe to it, and now his eyes are itchy again. It's weird.
Dude,
we need to get that guy some eye protection.
He says he has. We've got to remind him to wear it.
Glasses are not enough eye protection. There's so many places for debris to still continue to get there. Well, we're going to review the OSHA rules of safety of properly disposing of e-waste and conducting a podcast during this break. And afterwards, Jeff Grubb will be back with the news. That's the sound of your savings going up as you start to save money with Rocket Money. Listen, y'all. Your boy has definitely forgotten about certain subscriptions or let some of those free trials stop being free and get away from me. But Rocket Money has helped remind me that they're there and they're costing me some precious moolah. Rocket Money has also helped your boy cancel those subscriptions. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money will help find those subscriptions that you've forgotten about, and then they will do all the work in canceling those subs for you. No worries about having to track down a customer support person or go back and forth with emails. Stop throwing your money away. Cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/bomb. That's rocketmoney.com/bomb. rocketmoney.com/bomb. The rocket's still going with your money. It's your money, though. Okay. Squarespace is the place to make y'all's dreams of the perfect website come true. It is the all-in-one platform for building your business so you can take care of business. Business people. If you're looking to make a portfolio for all your work or even trying to get your business off the ground, then you can get all of that done with Squarespace with absolutely no experience needed with actually building a website. I have none, and I'm able to make a pretty snazzy website myself, y'all. For folks that own a salon, a barber shop, or maybe you're a personal trainer getting sessions on the clock, you can have Squarespace handle all of that appointment scheduling with Squarespace. On top of that, you can make sure to blast your clients with relevant emails or specials you got going on to keep them in the loop. And hey, let's throw more numbers in it, baby, with analytical tools that Squarespace has so you can know what is really popping on your website and what's maybe underperforming or where you got to put your energies towards. Go to squarespace.com/bombcast for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks, Squarespace. Before we get to the news, welcome back to the Giant Bombcast. I got to ask you two here and the fine folks at home, what is more offensive hygienic-wise to you? A dude with a really musty-ass, long ponytail, or one with a really long beard?
I think
it's the beard, isn't it?
I think it's the beard, man.
The beard has more chance to have interactions with food particles, which may or may not become untangled. Also, it's more offensive. We say this because Dan has a long beard and doesn't have any hair, so like we're getting one on him. So I want to say that.
And it's your mouth. Your mouth is so fucking gross.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the counterpoint I'll offer here. Is I am dead set that a lot of dudes don't actually know how to wash themselves.
Yeah.
So
some guys are just afraid to wipe their own butts. So yeah.
Hey. I bet you 75% of men do not wash their back in the shower, or like their legs either.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different discourse. That's why I sit down. Just get a good scrub a dub on them. Because I'm dead set that I've met folks with very long ponytails, dudes, and none of that has ever been conditioned.
Well, look, conditioner's fine if you don't use that, but like shampoo, like let's just.
I'm also dead set. No shampoo has.
Yeah, you gotta wash
that noggin.
There's someone in my life who I see every now and then, and they're just a stinky person, and I'm not gonna raise it, but I'm just like, what's happening here? Why does your hair always smell Bad. Bad. Like,
are they a hat person too?
No.
Oh.
I just don't understand, like, because it's not like a biological thing that they can't control because everything else is fine. It's just, I don't, maybe it's stinky shampoo.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. They're using that skunk shampoo.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that might contribute to it. That's right. The Giant Bombcast, your best place to figure out news about hair.
That is
true.
Could not be less true.
No,
I mean,
hey, you never know. You never know.
I mean, you two make up for more than Dan and I take away. So,
hey, I was looking at the last Hyrule Hustle because I had to explain it to our friend that is going to help make the shindig go tomorrow. And then I was looking at Grub, and there was something off about it. I'm like, why does he look so? He had long hair. Forgot. Yeah,
dude, I'm still not over it. I think I've said it somewhere else before. I cannot really deal with it.
I thought about just buzzing this all off. By the way, I thought, like, let's just start again. Let's just start from the beginning. You know,
it's fun.
Yeah,
it's weird after like a couple months, and I am where I'm at, but it's fun.
Yeah,
it does feel like a new start.
I don't think I could lose the facial hair though, because all of my friends stopped talking to me when I did it.
Yeah.
But hey, all my friends stopped talking to me as is, so nothing to lose now.
Wow.
Let's get to the news. These are the news of the show. Jeff Grubb with the news.
Yeah, let's hop into it. We got a few things happening. The big story in the last day or so is kind of mostly actually just an update on a previous story. Epic's case against Apple gets stomped out in court. Not much actually has changed since the last time we heard about this, the result in court. The difference here is that the U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals basically upheld most of the rulings made by the lower court. If you remember, Epic sued Apple in 2020 because it wanted to use its own payment system, among other things, on Apple's platform, primarily to avoid the 30% fee that Apple charges for every single thing that's sold through its store. Epic and Apple split some wins. Apple mostly won in that previous lower court ruling. But now the appeal has led to the Ninth Circuit making sure that 9 of the 10 claims actually do go in Apple's favor. The only one that is sort of outstanding in terms of Apple is the anti-steering rule, which was Apple's rule that said within your app and within the listing on the App Store, you cannot steer iPhone users and iOS users to other ways to pay for for your stuff. You can't steer them to like an online store version of stuff, which is why when you try to like buy a book on like the Kindle app or something, it's this weird like, hey, maybe if you were one day to be like on Amazon or something, we can't exactly say. Well, now they should be able to say, but everything else has gone in Apple's favor, and Apple says this is a big victory for them. But we had a lawyer actually reach out to me. Andrew Thomas is a lawyer who kind of explained some of this stuff. He says, my biggest insight is that there is not a lot of new in this opinion. The Ninth Circuit basically agrees with the outcome in the district court. The district court did make some mistakes in their opinion, but the mistakes were harmless and did not affect the outcome of the case, according to the Ninth Circuit. So the appeals that both companies were making, nothing's really changing there. And much of the opinion reads like the district court did make a mistake in its opinion, but Epic, you are still wrong. And that does seem to be what happened here. It's like, regardless of everything, Epic is not getting its way. And, the court even said, in this Ninth Circuit said, it is kind of messed up what Apple's doing, but the laws don't prevent it. Nothing they're doing. We have to just apply the laws, and nothing the laws stop Apple from behaving this way, because it does not actually meet the Sherman Act definition of a monopoly or an antitrust, because the markets aren't split that way. So kind of a lot of ado about nothing for Epic, who has been trying to make this happen for a very long time, and all they're really going to get out of it is now they can steer people in their app. Although, the things have changed a little bit on the iOS side of things, where, hey, they now do let certain apps use outside payment methods, just not games. So it's like basically everyone except for Fortnite, which of course Fortnite's not even on the store anymore. So yeah. You guys think Tim Sweeney's going to drop it? Because I'm not sure he's the drop it kind of guy.
Oh, no, I don't think he will.
No, he seems petty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, he does. The guy's got a lot of money. He can kind of do whatever he wants, and he kind of keeps trying to make this happen. I don't know. I think he's probably not going to drop it. He'll probably look for a new tactic, or maybe he'll get distracted at some point. Who knows? Maybe that also seems possible. But I don't think he's just going to like quietly go into the night at this point. We'll see. There is like, I guess they could appeal this to the Supreme Court.
Can you?
I think they can try. The Supreme Court.
How's that work? Like, how do you appeal to the Supreme Court? Like,
well, you got to go.
You buy them property and stuff. You know.
Yeah, like, do you just get them another trip to Milan or?
Yes,
like,
right. Wait, listen, yeah. First, pay up. Get Clarence Thomas his grease those wheels. Yeah. And then once you've greased the wheels, my understanding, and I don't really know, but once you have a Ninth Circuit ruling, you can appeal that, and the only place to appeal that, I believe, is the Supreme Court. So there's like one appeal left, and it's to the big boys, and they are probably going to say no to like hearing it at all. But we'll see.
Interesting.
Next case here. Next story. Dead Island 2 has sold 1 million copies in 3 days. We're enjoying it. Turns out a lot of people are enjoying it. Deep Silver, which is one of the Embraced, announced that the sales milestone. It announced its sales milestone in a press release. The first game reached 1 million copies in about a week. Now that was like 10 years ago. But this game at least kind of beating that at the very least. And as an example, in the UK, Dead Island 2 is the third fastest selling game of the year, behind only Hogwarts Legacy and Resident Evil 4.
Wow.
Meaning it's sold significantly better and faster than Dead Space. So
wow, that's an interesting company to be around.
Yes, it is. That is, again, it goes back to zombie games can sell, and zombie games. Hey, zombie fun co-op game.
Sure.
Is that something you want? And there's a huge audience just like, yes, every single time. Give it to us. And
man, I'm really curious about Redfall now. If you're trying to take the temperature of the market and demand of what people want to play. Dead Island comes out. Redfall's next week, right? I mean,
it's less than a week now. Yeah, or it's exactly a week. Next Tuesday, the game will be out. So next Bombcast, we'll be talking about it for sure.
Wow.
Oh,
listen, I don't like saying things about Microsoft games anymore because last time it was a fucking meltdown on the internet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, let's keep it that way. I fucking mentioned something about Hi-Fi Rush on my other podcast, and people lost their mind. It was a whole
people
thing.
are saying he said, I don't know, I didn't hear it. So.
Yeah, I said it. I said it was a flop, which I never said.
No one knows.
I'll say it's a flop. There you go. Come after me.
And
I love Draymond Green.
Please, okay. Oh, you're so dead. I'm so sorry.
Goodbye, Jen. Goodbye.
Either way, Dead Island 2 selling a lot of copies. It's probably seems like it's going to be one of the best selling games of the year if it keeps up this pace. This is before, like we kept saying, hey, just wait till it's on sale. A lot of people, fuck no, I'm getting it right now for $70. Like this thing goes down to $50. There's going to be another wave.
Yeah.
It's like that's a good discount. I'm going to get that. Yeah, this game's going to sell.
I thought we were done with zombies. I really thought the appetite for zombies.
Here's
what
I'm realizing, Jen. We never. That's never going to happen. Zombies are never actually going to be out of fashion.
Which makes me curious about like Redfall. Yeah, it's vampires. There's ghouls in it, which are zombie adjacent. Does that fulfill the same appetite for
I don't think
zombies?
It does.
No,
I don't think so.
Dang.
I've been thinking about that for a while, and I don't think it does. I think little, sort of details about your work of fiction can have a large impact on the reception of it. I'm starting to believe.
Is it because zombies may have a better fun vibe because they could come out to the daytime beach party versus vampires, which can only come out at night?
Is your question
exactly right?
Is your question now? Is this all predicated about the sun?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
I think vampires are more boring than zombies, even though what we do in
but they're more
Shadows is great.
fuckable, though, right?
Exactly. My point exactly. So, I don't know.
So
it's fuckable matter in games.
It's you win some, you lose some. It's a give and take, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Star Wars Jedi Survivor requires a download even if you buy the disc. Physical copies of the game have a warning on them that you'll need to download extra data in order to actually play the game. That's likely because the game is an astonishing 130 to 150 gigabytes, depending on what platform you're playing on.
What?
Even a dual layered Blu-ray could not fit that, Jan.
What?
So you would have to go multiple discs, and I think the days of multiple discs for a game like this are over.
Who's that analogy for?
They're going to put a 72 megabyte download thing on there, and you have to download the whole game. That's what it's going to be.
Did they do the Call of Duty thing and didn't optimize the sound effects? Is like the zhuzh, zhuzh for the lightsabers? Like,
so here's like the one tidbit that we can sort of work backwards from. The Xbox Series S version is about 44 gigabytes. The Xbox Series X version is 139 gigabytes.
What?
So that's 4K textures, right? That's all that is.
oh,
Or are they using fucking waves in the Xbox Series X version, and they're using what Ogs Vorbis in the Series S version?
Ogs Vorbis to you too, my friend.
Yes, if you to those who celebrate,
my son.
those who
Ogs
celebrate.
Vorbis, my son. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's 4K textures. I think that's what it's got to be.
That's a better answer than what I was cooking up in my head. I thought there were just, I don't know. This is game like 80 hours.
It's leaked. Some stuff's leaked online, and we don't have it. So I'll just based on what I heard is there's a lot to this. There's a lot, like it is very expansive and detailed.
Okay,
and
so what I'm hearing is there's pod racing.
That's pod racing to me. That's what Anakin says, right?
That's what
pod
means.
racing to me.
Yep.
Yippee! Man, I would love a new pod racer. Let's go.
More yippies in movies, please.
Yeah, we're an all yippee gang here. We love yippies everywhere we can get them.
Bad, I think. But
We're
anyway.
the yippie boys. That does sound
Yippee-ki-yay.
like a right wing group. Yeah,
We're doing something bad here.
What about the yippie
Protesting
men? No.
the yippie man. Hip hip hooray!
Yip yippee.
Triple H, hip hip hooray! NetEase apparently isn't suing Blizzard. So this is an update to a story we talked about on Game Best Mornings yesterday, where we reported, because everyone else was reporting, that NetEase was suing Blizzard for $44 million. Turns out it wasn't actually NetEase that brought that case. It was a disgruntled fan, a man named Young Jun, actually filed the suit. An early version of the court docket, though, made it appear that Young Jun was doing this on behalf of NetEase, as if he was like some sort of counsel or lawyer for them. And that was a mistake. He was not actually doing this on behalf of NetEase at all. In fact, he's like since filed another lawsuit that sues both Blizzard, and it sues The Nine, which is a subsidiary of NetEase. So it's like he's suing both now. Young Jun has previously sued NetEase for $290 a few years ago in a court case that was thrown out. He was trying to get a refund on some games, and now he's back at it, but this time for $44 million. So most of this is just correction that apparently NetEase actually isn't suing Blizzard. So that story is not accurate.
Maybe they shouldn't let people repeat sue. You know?
Yeah. That's what that movie Double Jeopardy is about, right?
Yes.
I think so. Pinkerton agents now threaten to bust the heads of Magic the Gathering fans. This is a weird one. This is a weird one.
Say that again?
Pinkerton? Yeah, how do you say it? Pinkerton. Yeah, Pinkerton agents. Yes. Pinkertons showed up to someone's house who had opened a case of cards that weren't out yet. And apparently Wizards of the Coast is like, we're going to hire security to come get those back. And they hired Pinkerton agents. And
really?
Yep. Pinkerton agents are still real, still doing their thing.
I didn't know they were still around. I knew they were a thing at one point.
Yep. That's the thing. It's like, this is how many people are finding out Pinkertons are still real. Is that they're going after Magic the Gathering card openers on YouTube.
Who was their biggest client before? That's what I want to know.
So apparently they have a lot of business in loss prevention and loss retention and stuff. Basically going out and getting stuff back.
Got it.
Kind of, maybe they're big, like someone
Repo Boys.
Somewhere. Yeah, Repo Boys. And someone took home, not like a stapler, but they took home like a big piece of equipment or something. It's like, oh, we got a team that can get that back. It's the Pinkerton boys. Pinkertons, famously, if you are wondering why we're like, oh, that's a weird name to come back. They are most known for busting up unions back in like the 1920s or whatever, where like they got hired. I can't remember what organization was trying to unionize, but basically the Pinkertons got brought in and was like, we are going to violently beat you until you don't want to unionize anymore. And I believe they actually killed people. So Pinkertons have always been kind of a bunch of shits.
Were the Magic the Gathering people trying to unionize?
Imagine again. So the Pinkertons will do a bunch of different stuff. Like they'll still bust up your union. They absolutely will help you with that. If you are a corporate boss and want to be a complete shit, they'll help you with that. But they will also just do generalized security and getting back stolen stuff for you. So yeah, it was just a weird story. I'm like, Pinkertons.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Funko Fusion is a new game from former Lego game devs. This is the first game from new developer 1010 Games, which we've talked about previously, them getting their starts. Funko Fusion, as the name suggests, is a fusion of brands in the Funko style. The game is partnered with NBC Universal, so you'll see a number of brands from under that umbrella. That includes soulless, blocky versions of Jurassic World, Back to the Future, Masters of the Universe, and The Thing. Which, please don't do that to The Thing. Funko Fusion is due out early in 2024. It will likely have a lot of live service elements, which, big surprise, they're going to let you buy a bunch of Funkos in the Funko game.
Cool.
You guys are raring to go for that Machine Gun Kelly Funko, right?
It's just not a thing I care about. I don't know who it's for.
He's got 3 Machine Gun Kelly Funkos behind him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He lit them up. Audio listeners, he's now holding them proudly
he's
now.
Smooching them. He's making them smooch.
Maybe that's all happening. Maybe it's not.
He has a Pikachu Funko Pop as well. Now he's making the MGKs fight Pikachu. Oh no!
Oh man, it's the battle we've all been waiting for. Apparently, this is gonna be what the game is a little bit like. But I honestly don't know what the gameplay is from this. It just seems kind of like a traditional action game. But
you remember Gears Pop?
Fusion.
Yes.
I do remember Gears Pop.
That was fun for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I had nothing against it other than it being a Funko Pop game.
Yeah, there is a Jollibee Funko Pop that I kind of want though. So
that's kind of cool.
I'm part of the problem.
Every now and then I see one of them and I'm like, okay, that's fine.
I feel like it's one of those things that you can't just get one though, right? Like it's meant to be like, well, I need another Funko to go next to that one.
Well, here's the thing.
Cards on the table.
Yes.
What do you got?
I think I have 4 or 5.
I think someone sent me one once for a game I didn't care about, and I do not have it anymore.
I have the New Day 3-pack that my partner gave me.
How many,
Baccalaureate?
You're looking around the room. How many? You sack of shit. Tell us the truth.
You do have MGK Funko Pops.
No. I see a number right now. I think that number's accurate.
Okay. Is it greater? Is it greater than 4? Yes.
One of them's a JoJo, isn't it? You freak.
No, do they make JoJo Funko?
see the light in his eyes?
Do they?
So
you
sick.
slut.
Oh, God.
Okay, listen. I know I'm not a Funko, so I'm a JoJo slut for sure. I'm not a Funko Pop slut. I got all the Fifth Element ones. I love Fifth Element so much, so I got those. All right, and then my kid bought me a Marty McFly one.
Okay, that's cool.
So I got 6 Fifth Elements and a Marty McFly.
So that's the thing is Funko Pops. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, you work in video games, right? You like movies? Here.
Yes,
exactly. Here's this as a gift.
It's like they think it's currency for a certain demographic of people.
You know what was so upsetting? I remember this ties into when Grub, Dan, and I pretty much squatted in the City Walk by Universal Studios for 2 days, 2.5 days.
Video coming eventually. You guys just tell.
It's coming eventually. I'm working on it. There was this really cool, really neat comic store that I visited as a kid. It was really great because it was just hard to get to comic stores where I lived at the time. And then in the back of my head, I was like, oh, snap. I can go visit that and maybe pick up some comics to read on the trip. We passed by the comic book store because it was right next to Tommy Bahama's Margaritaville.
Yeah, Tommy Bahama's Margaritaville. He's taken over. It was a hostile takeover. It's his now.
Okay, I got the name wrong again. But there were no more comic books in this store. It was just wall-to-wall Funko Pops that I just looked down in shame.
I was kind of sad I didn't go inside there because it looked like they had a bunch of fun stuff, but it was mostly just Funkos.
It's all just Funkos.
I was in New York.
Funkos.
Yeah, I was in New York back in December, and I met up with our good buddy Super Eye Patch Wolf, and we were at a Japanese bookstore in the city, and we took a photo, and we didn't realize that behind us was just a wall of Funko Pops until we left, and we were like, the photo we took together is besmirched. It is now. It is now like the worst thing we've done.
False endorsement.
It
Give me a
just
lawyer.
seems like we're these weirdos. Yeah, I don't know. I have, it's a complicated relationship with those things, man. I don't know.
Why do I want to say it's John Margaritaville? That's not his name either. It's Jimmy Buffett.
Jimmy Buffett, yeah.
Jimmy Buffett.
Okay, I didn't know where you're going.
I'm sorry. I was like the whole time. I'm like, what's his name? John Margaritaville. Not right.
Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Yeah. He's no Steely Dan. I'll say that.
Okay. That's the other name I remember from the Margarita Flight. Oh, delicious blue.
A lot of good drinks.
Turns out.
Drinking's fun.
All right. So let me see here. Moving ahead. Diablo 4 is getting another open beta. The final server slam is coming May 12th through the 14th. So if you're not playing Zelda, you can play this instead. The event will give players access to the prologue, the entirety of Act 1, and the first zone, and will let them build a character up to a level 20 cap. Players who take part will also be able to earn a mount trophy, which will carry over to the main game if they can defeat the beta's hardest enemy. So, I know a lot of people are itching to get back in there. This will be your chance. I wonder, it's probably going to be busy regardless of what other games are coming out, even Zelda, because it's Diablo. And people were really into that last chance.
People love the devil.
People love the devil.
Hell yeah.
Street Fighter 6 demo is going live on Xbox and PC tomorrow as we're recording this. So Series X and S and Steam will get a glimpse at the fighting game on April 26th. The demo lets players play the beginning of World Tour as well as select modes and Fighting Ground. World Tour lets players create their own character, explore a series of open world areas, and learn moves from existing Street Fighter warriors. People on PlayStation have already been playing for a few days since like the end of last week. And now everyone's going to get a chance to get in at least for a couple of days. I want to check this out, Jan. Let's maybe see if we can make that happen.
I also would like to check this out.
Yeah.
Man, I've had these hitboxes in my cart for so long.
Now's the time to decide. Maybe you can make a live purchase.
Oh, no.
A live purchase. Here we go.
Folks, I'm mostly thinking of a hitbox for its portability, just because like a joystick is just going to wiggle waggle around. If I stuff it somewhere, I don't want to mess up the gate. Also, my hands are stupid.
I got them stupid hands, yeah. Sony has acquired its 20th studio. The company now owns Firewalk Studios, which is one of the devs it partnered with in recent years to build a multiplayer game. Firewalk was founded in 2018 and has not released a game yet, but Sony must be excited about what it's seeing because they've made this acquisition even before the game is out and performing. This is the 20th team now under the Sony umbrella. That's a lot of studios. They keep expanding. They're probably going to keep at this, right? And you guys think they'll keep kind of doing stuff along these lines where it's like before a studio has a chance to go out and prove itself with a live game, Sony's like, hey, we're going to get you at the bargain price right now before we have to pay up big time later, right?
I didn't think of it that way, yeah.
Yeah, but that's their thing. Like I feel that they've like perfected that strategy, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's their
think
move.
so. I think it's you can be Nintendo, and Nintendo's had long-term partnerships with external studios like HAL and Intelligent Systems, studios that make stuff like Advance Wars, and that Nintendo doesn't directly own but has worked with for a very long time. But even Nintendo had to pay up for the Luigi's Mansion studio. Next Level, I think, chat, maybe help me out. Next Level, because Next Level is like, hey, we just made Luigi's Mansion 3. It's a gigantic hit. It sold over 10 million copies. We think we're worth a lot right now, so we're going to go put ourselves on the market. And Nintendo's like, okay, we'll pay up. And I think Sony is a company that like looks and sees like this could happen to any one of our studios, especially after we got Insomniac at a deal. Everyone else could be like, well, you're going to we'll go out in the open market and see if we can get someone to acquire us. Maybe that someone will be Microsoft. Is that what you want? And so he's like, fuck that. Let's just pay for it now. We can see what they're working on is worthwhile. So, yeah, I think this is also Sony's set pretty much for it's like big marquee games, the things they became known for over the PlayStation 4 generation of big expensive $200 million projects that are Game of the Year contenders. I think they're just happy to like plug in the holes with like all these other smaller studios that can work on multiplayer games and sort of find revenue in other directions. And they're in the process of making that happen, and Firewalk seems to be a big part of that.
I would like for Sony to just support more indie efforts.
Yeah, they've tried to get a little bit better about their relationships with indies since that reporting came out a year or so ago about it's actually a real bummer to try to be an indie on a PlayStation these days. But it's not. It hasn't completely changed, and Sony is not out there investing a lot of money trying to change that perception necessarily in the same way that Microsoft has been. Microsoft's kind of in a situation where they need to have those relationships because they need to be filmed. Like they need to have a pipeline of games for Game Pass. So it's a little bit different.
This is another acquisition that goes by that I am thinking is not going to be focused at all on PSVR 2.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Does Firewalk have any? I'm like, for some reason, it's like ringing a bell. Like, did they do a PSVR 1 thing? No, they haven't released any games. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think they are not going to invest big time in PSVR 2. I think PSVR 2 is basically already on the way.
Damn.
I mean,
Really?
I think some other games will come out between now and like whenever. But in terms of them today deciding to spend money by having one of their studios go and make a PSVR 2 exclusive game, like that's going to come out in 4 years or something, I don't think that's happening.
Grub, watch out. The Sony freaks are going to come after you next.
Yeah, come on.
He's
just looking for balance.
Sunshine and Rainbows. It's so good, bro.
He's just looking for balance, you know?
Bros, it's so good.
Oh my God, it's such a
hate from either side.
It's
right?
a great headset. Good feeling
couldn't be
headset.
better.
That's what Jeff Grubb always says after every
right.
meeting.
Go after Dan.
Yeah.
He kind of like reviewed it for us. So.
That's right. Get his ass.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Guerrilla Games confirms more Horizon. The studio said it is working on an online Horizon project, which we've heard a little bit about before, and an epic solo adventure that stars Aloy. These announcements come as the studio head Angie Smets moves up to head of development strategy at PlayStation Studios. Other experienced Guerrilla devs are stepping into her role. And they're basically a lot of people who are doing that same job as her. Just now they're kind of taking it on in full. So that's who it's going to operate as it always has. But this is confirmation. A Horizon 3 and a Horizon multiplayer experience. Bacalar, you seem so excited.
It's just sort of like one of those things where you want to say, like, you sure about that? You know? Maybe.
I think this is a both things are true situation. I think that we on this website underestimate Horizon, and I think Horizon fans overestimate it. I think that both things are true.
Yes.
I saw
everyone's wrong.
Yeah, everyone's wrong. I saw a Spawn Wave. He's a YouTuber. He did a poll about what's your one PlayStation game that you most care about? What PlayStation 5 release did you most care about? And God of War Ragnarok ran away with it, of course. But there was like a bunch of games between that and then where Horizon Forbidden West fell, which is like only 10% chose Horizon Forbidden West. It's like it's not very many people's one game on PlayStation, apparently. It's probably a lot of people's number 2, I would guess. But as far as like it being the number 1 game, it's not. And I think Sony's treating it in such a way that it feels a little bit incongruous with like what we see. But maybe they know what we don't. And this is all these investments are going to pay off big time.
Well, they definitely know what we do. Well, they know that it's either profitable or it's not, right? I mean, and again, I think what you said at the top there is much more true than we joke. Like, I think, and again, to be clear, no one on this website hates that, Rory loved Horizon.
Rory
right?
loves
Horizon freak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I want to like that game. That's my biggest thing is I want to love it more than I wind up do.
Yeah, that Burning Shores DLC looks graphically looks like there's a lot of cool stuff happening in that DLC. And I'm like, I'm not going to play through that whole thing to get to it. I would love to try it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. I do not have a good time playing that game. So what can I do?
And I continually meet people in the world who are like, hey, what do you know about another Horizon game? I love that shit. And I'm just like,
really?
Where are you from? Like, what's your deal? What's your story? How'd you get there? Like, how'd you get here?
How'd you end up here? Are you okay?
It's cool. Horizon, like, I've had fun playing the first Horizon game. I bounced off the second one very quickly. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we have a lot of people who aren't super into it. It just so happens on this website. But out there, they're there, and I'm glad they're getting more games because that must feel great.
Because they're still planning on making that show, right?
Yeah, that's still happening. Amazon or something, not HBO. So it's kind of harder to have a lot of faith that it's going to be some big thing. But
People like the Ring show, right? The Ring people are happy with that.
Yeah, I think so. Wasn't that show like $1 billion though? I think I spent $1 billion on a Horizon show. Probably not. I have no idea. I have no idea what to expect.
$1 billion on a single show. We're also up. I feel like we are past the point of like reeling it back in a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
billions a lot on a single show.
yes, it is. That's insane.
It just is.
Yep. All right, last story here. The Asus ROG Ally. I'll say the full thing. The Asus Republic of Gamers Ally is looking hot. Awooga that's what I've written here. Asus has provided some details about its handheld gaming PC. The Steam Deck rival will have a custom AMD Ryzen Z1 chip with RDNA 3 graphics. It has a 7-inch 1080p display with 120 hertz refresh rate, and it runs at 500 nits, which means it will be able to do HDR.
Oh, wow.
A lot of stuff that's like just a smidge better than what the Steam Deck has. It's also going to have 16 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM and 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. It's going to launch with Windows 11, so those games like Destiny 2 and Call of Duty that kind of struggle because of anti-cheat, well, they're just going to work on this thing. Yeah. Although Windows 11 not optimized for handhelds, really. It's going to be a little bit less usable until you're in the game, and then some games are going to work a lot better. It also comes with 3 months of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, so it's like Microsoft kind of getting on board with this thing. I think Microsoft's seeing, hey, the writing's on the wall. This is a new platform for PC gaming. We need to be there. Now they didn't provide a price. Asus didn't, and these things typically are a lot more expensive than the Steam Deck, and that's been the Steam Deck's superpower. But they are promising it'll be under $1,000, and the equivalent Steam Deck is like about $650. So it's like, man, if let's say it's $850, $200 more for a lot of stuff that's a lot better. That's an argument that you could begin hearing, like, maybe I should just spend the extra $200 to get this instead. It is going to be more powerful as well. It's going to run games better. So yeah,
the prospect of it being a better piece of hardware combined with the more compatibility, right? Like,
yeah.
I think running EGS natively, right? Like, yes. I think there and an Xbox app, like,
yeah,
to me, depending on how good this is manufactured, what the quality of this thing is, like, if I'm choosing between those two things, for $200, like you said, if that's what we're looking at,
if that's the difference, yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. I think people will say you could install Windows on your Steam Deck, and you can, and the drivers have gotten there. That's a hassle. Most people aren't going to do that. Getting Epic Game Store running is spotty. I've had some luck. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2.
I thought we'd be further along by now. Yeah.
It's pretty spotty. But I do think the usability of the Steam Deck is a big thing. They built that OS to work with that machine.
Yep.
And so then when you do go run something like Emu Deck, when you're going to set up all the emulators, it's like amazing. Oh yeah, they already just set up all these things, so I can just hit one of these back paddles, and the 3DS screens will like cycle through there because it's just someone already set up that shortcut for me. So now I could see a link between worlds full screen, and then when I need to see the second screen, I'll just hit the button and switch to it, or I'll put it in the corner, and that stuff just happens automatically because the interface is universal, and so many people are using it. And you can do that kind of stuff. People are going to be able to do that stuff with something like the Ally, but I think it's going to be a little bit less supported. And then that usability of trying to do that inside of Windows versus trying to do it inside of Steam OS or Steam Deck OS, whatever they're calling it. There's a give and take. There's definitely a give and take. And I'm personally going to keep trying to remind myself I've been very happy with my Steam Deck. I'm going to kind of stick it out instead of spending another $1,000. But we'll see if these things start. If the Steam Deck kind of starts getting long in the tooth after a couple of years, and these things keep improving, I probably will jump ship eventually.
Yeah,
interesting.
Hearing about this thing makes me want to own it in a very big way.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first one where it's like I'm at least gonna try to track one down. Let's see if we can get a hold of Asus and see if we can get some review units or something at least, so we do some comparisons. And then if that doesn't happen, I'll probably still be like, maybe. I say I'll try to talk myself, because it will be an active thing where if I don't remind myself not to do it, I'm going to find myself just like, hey, my mouse is going over to asus.com, and here we go. All right. Let's see. Any other? Okay, nope. That does it for the news. Jan, I'm handing this show back over to you.
Every time that you said Asus, I couldn't help but imagine my mom saying Isus, which is just a version or abbreviated version of saying, "Oh Jesus." Also,
Fantastic.
I feel so bad that we don't like Horizon collectively as a group. It feels
it's just a weird anomaly, I think, really.
Like it feels like that episode of Fresh Prince where Will Smith is just going, and this is Aloy just going, "How come you don't want me? How come you don't want me, man?"
It's like it's become a meme, so it's like fun to like joke about it too. But I'm not trying to be mean to anybody.
No.
I take that the Daniel Tiger thing. Like we like different things, and that's just fine. But remember to be kind. I take that to heart. Like we like different things. That's fine.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, maybe like add tiles or something. Maybe I'll get into it.
Fucking be a real game, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, like maybe Aloy could play hockey or something, and you two will be into it. I don't know.
I mean, doesn't she like basically skate? Isn't it like? Isn't there skating? Like, doesn't she move that way?
Does she like have like the Mr. Freeze like ice blades that come out of the bottom of her shoes? And
what's something Dan would love in a game? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know.
Wrestling.
Yeah,
suplexes. I think I remember starting the new one and just like gawking at like the outfits and the cutscenes and all that stuff. But where I started to fall off was when there were a lot of cutscenes and a lot of a story that I didn't particularly care about. And then you get Matt Barf and you're like, all right, well, I guess I'm just gonna go to the nearest dot, and that's what's the market. So I'm gonna like I'm gonna trade like fucking ropes and wires and stuff. And I'm just like, all right. And yeah, I maybe the move. And again, I'm open to going back to that thing. Maybe I just do a hardcore mainline quest sort of thing and enjoy all the big action moments, right?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, maybe.
Grub, during that Tears of the Kingdom stream, what if I play all through Horizon? No, I don't want to do that.
Beautiful.
I don't want to do that.
What are you signing up for?
I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, no.
Keep that in your head.
Listen, as long as I play Tears of the Kingdom, you could be like out there hunting jackrabbits. I don't give a shit. You do what you got to do.
Out.
Yeah.
Let's go get us some jackrabbits.
All right. Well, that's been the news. We're going to take it off. Go see some sun for just a little bit. You should too, by the way, if you're watching live. Go drink some water. And we'll be back with some email. Emails, we've gotten to the third act of the show. That's right. They're not segments anymore. They're all acts. We filmed them in different formats, if you could tell. And this is the most modern because emails are the most modern way to communicate with each other. That's right. Forget phone calls, text messages, emails.
Brought to you by the email console.
Yes. Bombcast, a giant bomb. No, I typed Gmail for some reason. At giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails. Please send them. We enjoy reading them. They get sent to all of us. So if you just want to say what's up to one of us, you could do that. And some people do that. First email of the show is about Fortnite, gentlemen. Alex in Bendigo, Australia writes in, speaking with a friend that has kids recently and asked if he was taking them to see Mario. I then asked if his kids had even played much Mario, and the answer was no. His son plays Fortnite. Surely someone has a script or a plan somewhere for a Fortnite movie, right? Do the Bombers think recent successful game-to-movie adaptations increases the odds of that IP getting a movie? Would its earnings make the Mario movies look like chump change? Does anyone want to admit Fortnite is probably way more popular than Mario will ever be with this new generation of kids? Alex in Bendigo, Australia.
It's an interesting question, but I'm not sure that those two things are the same.
Yeah, it's a rough one, right? Because Fortnite is a place to express your. I mean, okay, it's not exclusively a place to express your love for other IP.
Yeah,
but it's mostly that. It's like I say that, and I see a lot of probably younger people rocking skins that have nothing to do with Marvel or whatever. So maybe they are way into Fortnite, but I think I think Fortnite's appeal is that it can be anything. It's that it's Funko Pops of video games, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It is what it is. Austin Walker said that before. I'm stealing that from him, just so I
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mario exists on his own. I don't know. Maybe I'm just taking this personally because I'm a Mario fan. So yeah, it's hard for me to recognize that.
I just like, and again, this is not to take anything away from Fortnite. We all know how important Fortnite is, but there's no like Mario's. It's a series of characters. It's a totally different thing. It's a totally different IP. Like it's. I don't think I think inherently it lends itself better to a full feature film.
Yeah.
Because of what it is.
If they were to make a Fortnite movie, I could easily see it following like the Lego movie trajectory where
yeah, totally.
They have these default skins or like these other IP skins, right? Internally that they could flesh a movie around and then like, oh hey, Master Chief was in it for a second. Oh, is that Spider-Man? Cool.
Yeah.
Oh look, there's 4 Zendayas.
They could do it. It's got some Ready Player One ass energy for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's fine. It could totally happen. I just don't know, is that a live action movie or is that an animated movie?
And if it's an animated movie, does it just look like an Unreal game on a movie screen with like, with the extra polish of like being pre-rendered, so they have the perfect ray traced lighting and stuff like that, which would make a difference. But still, it's like just make it in Unreal. That's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Are like notable Fortnite streamers, do they have to make an appearance in it, right? Like
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think the cool thing about some of those things, and I think in some degree it's related to the Barbie discussion we had. Sometimes an IP, right, doesn't always translate one-to-one with like, oh, this should be the story for the movie. And I think part of the fun is coming up with the inventive and creative way of adapting a certain IP into film. I think that's part of the fun. And I do think for Fortnite, it would be cool because it would probably be untraditional and it would be, something that a lot of people work long and hard to figure out. And I'd be interested to see what they come up with. Whereas Mario, it's kind of easy now. You're just like, all right, it's fucking ready to go. It's turnkey.
Yeah, it's a checklist. You just start right now. Luigi's Mansion. Exactly. Now this. Yeah.
It's so funny because now, like, I love all the what is it? The third week it's out now, and now it's like, hey, we're not even burying the lead. They just go like Easter eggs is the commercial, right? Like, go back and see what you missed, you dummy. Like, it's just...
my kids both have asked separately, independently of one another, can we go see it again?
Oh, yeah.
So we just saw it on Sunday, and they're like, can we go see it? I'm like, your mom's gonna be on a trip, like maybe like a weekish, maybe that'd be a good way to spend some time. So I'm probably gonna take them back again.
Do they like the Peaches song?
Oh, they did. They very much liked. Emmy was, anytime Mario sort of overcame anything, she was gonna like jump out of her seat. She was so into it. And then when Rainbow Road showed up, she's just like vibrating because she's so excited. She loves rainbows and she likes Mario. Mario's no Kirby, but she likes Mario fine. And then like that whole action sequence, she was just like, yes. And then Addie, every time a character said "Mamma Mia," she just out loud for everyone in the theater here, she goes, "Mamma Mia!" It was really funny. It was like
Italian gimmick. I love it.
Yes, exactly. The little Italian gimmick, just out there doing her thing.
Next time you take them to see the Mario movie, I need all of you to be in overalls, please.
Hell yeah. Let's make it happen. Yeah, I'm down.
All right. Next email comes from Jeff from Connecticut. Hey, gang. What Minecraft spin-offs would you like to see? Personally, I'd like to see a Muso/Warriors game, call it Minecraft Warriors, and or a 3D platformer a la Sackboy: A Big Adventure,
really
or the
good call.
Absolutely confirmed to be mainline, and anyone who thinks otherwise is wrong, Super Mario 3D World. Thanks, and hope you're well, Jeff from Connecticut.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, those are the right answers. I think the action platformer is where we need to go with that.
Give me what was the Steven Spielberg game that's Angry Birds?
Much. Yeah, Boom Blocks.
Boom Blocks.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's fun. I like that a lot. Yeah, I think Minecraft Sports, like just a Wii Sports clone, just with Minecraft and stuff. That could be interesting.
Give me Burnout, but Minecraft.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah,
cut the check, Mo Yang. Cut the check.
Yeah. man, that's just they should have done. I mean, Lego's going to beat them to the punch with that Lego Racer. So, yeah, that would be awesome.
I feel like for the like a party game or a sports Minecraft game to work, you need to be able to carry over the skins that you've bought to other games.
Yes, I like that.
So you want NFTs? Yeah.
Yes, I mean that's what I'm always saying after every meeting as well. You know, Jeff Grubb starts.
Yes. PSVR 2 is amazing.
Yes,
and NFTs, put them in everything.
Put them in everything. Yeah.
We put our hands in the middle of the meeting and go. We just chant that and go, yeah.
Yeah.
Or we go, yippee! We're the yippee men.
Oh, here we go again. I always thought Teardown was like it was a very spiritual successor to like what Minecraft, obviously the aesthetic, but like there is a lot of that DNA there, say for blowing up your GPU. But I don't know. I think like that is a really interesting indicator of like what other directions you could possibly go in with the Minecraft world for sure.
Yeah, so like, can they do GTA online like heists? But I'm like, maybe they have that. Maybe they have that in that Minecraft marketplace already. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's completely possible. Okay, next email comes from Luke from Oregon. I was listening to the live voicemail dump truck, and the conversation shifted to Mayor Pauline of Mario fame. My idea: New Donk SimCity. A Nintendo-fied city builder where you play as Pauline as she builds New Donk City.
This is good.
What do you imagine some of the game mechanics being? Making efficient pipe paths a la subway system management, building Mario tennis courts and soccer fields, a Toad treasure tracker museum, a Bob-omb and Bullet Bill munitions factory manned by unpaid toads? Mm-hmm. Luke from Oregon.
Yeah, all in service of Luigi's dick, right? Like that's
right.
Cut the
do
check.
Do it all for the Luigi dick. That's what we also always say it after our meetings. Yeah.
Yes. Instead of the key to the city, you're handed Luigi's dick.
That's right. Exactly. Everything that Luke listed here like sounds amazing. Like,
yeah, it's very smart.
Doing the pipe sewers, like, yeah, of course, that makes so much sense. I would love this. And then this was already in the Super Nintendo SimCity, but you would just have the monster attack button would just be Bowser. Bowser comes and attacks the city and stuff. So
no, it would be like in Universal Studios at the Toadstool Cafe when like the village of Toads is randomly attacked and nothing happens.
And the lights dim, and then the one guy in the kitchen is just like still like
stirring his soup.
Jeff Grubb ordered a food. We got to get him his burger.
Oh, that's the best part of that whole place. Video coming soon, I swear to God. Next email comes from I'll save that for later. Hey, Bombcast crew. I dare you to guess one of the 12 most popular karaoke songs according to the popular karaoke YouTube channel, Kara Fun. 2.4.
I thought we blocked this email address. I'm sorry.
This
2.45 million subscribers. All right, gentlemen. Let's both of you name 2 songs. We'll see if it's in the top 12.
All right, I've scrolled up and now I've already forgotten the top one. So, okay. Is Mother by Danzig on there?
No way.
No, it is not.
I do appreciate you calling that out.
I mean, listen, it's my go-to. I know that's what makes me special, is that almost no one does that song. Oh, okay, I like this. Journey. Anything from Journey. Don't Stop Believing?
It's gotta be.
It has to be there. Let me do a command F. No. Surprisingly not. All right. Backlar, you're
Simple and Clean from Kingdom Hearts.
You dirty. It's not there.
Good.
I will say Layla by, is it Cream or is it Eric Clapton?
Eric Clapton. Yeah.
No, but Eric Clapton is on the boards.
Oh.
Eric Clapton is on the boards. Plot thickens.
Is it his new song about COVID?
No, it's
oh Christ.
It's Wonderful Tonight.
Oh, okay. Of course, yes.
Okay.
All right, one more guess each.
Witchy Woman.
No.
Okay.
What about I Just Called to Say I Love You?
That
should be there.
Who sings that?
Isn't that Stevie Wonder?
Stevie Wonder also on the boards, but not with that song.
Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks.
Friends in no. No.
Okay, then this is actually just untrue,
November Rain by Guns N' Roses.
Remember when I said one more guess and you both proceeded to give me 3 more?
We don't follow instructions. We're
no November
bad.
Rain. All right. Let's start from 12. We'll go to 1. Ready?
Yeah.
Breathless by the Corrs.
Oh, yeah, of course. I don't know what that is.
11. My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion.
Oh, duh. Yeah,
What?
Of course.
Yo, that's a
Who's
banger,
singing
dog.
that song like they can sing that song? That's crazy.
People at
met someone that does
karaoke.
karaoke. Yeah.
10.
Where have you been? Welcome to Giant Bomb.
10. Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton.
Okay.
9. Killing Me Softly by the Fugees.
Okay.
Weird.
You are not a Lauryn Hill karaoke singer, but go ahead.
Yeah.
That's What Friends Are For by Dionne Warwick, Gladys Knight, Elton John, and Stevie Wonder. This is odd. Okay. 7. Just Give Me a Reason by Pink.
The kids are ruining everything. Kids love Pink.
That's so weird.
Do kids even know who Pink is? All right, whatever.
Yeah, Pink's like a multi-generational.
Okay.
But what
good
has
for
Pink done? I don't know. Okay. Number 6, Sweet Child O' Mine, Guns N' Roses.
Oh,
okay.
I
sure.
said, what did I say? November Rain?
You said November Rain.
November Rain's a really good guess.
Yeah.
1,000 Years by Christina Perri, number 5.
Is that?
I love you for 1,000 years.
That's not the like.
No, that's 1,000 miles. Excuse me. That's Vanessa Carlton.
Excuse me. I apologize to Vanessa and Eugene.
Thank you.
She hates that song, by the way. Okay. Number 4 here. I Just Fall in Love Again by Anne Murray. I don't know this one.
That's from like the Depression. What is going on here? What is any of this?
Did they have karaoke back then?
Yeah, I guess.
Number 3, Colgando en tus manos by Carlos Botti and Marta Sanchez. Okay.
All right.
Number 2, I can bang with this. Zombie by the Cranberries.
What? Really?
That's cool.
What? That's number 2?
That's wild. That's number 2, though. This is a weird list. Honestly, once we explain who sent this in, it'll explain everything that's happened so far.
Zombie is my go-to whenever I sit down after a drum session. Zombie is my number 1. Get warm, get loosened up with Zombie.
Number 1, and this list was collated by this emailer according to the karaoke YouTube channel Carafun, with 2.45 million subscribers. Number 1, Love Me With All Your Heart, Engelbert Humperdinck.
I'm looking this up right now because I don't even believe that this is true.
All right. Who sent this in?
This sent in by Ben Hansen from Min-Max, Minnesota.
Ben, I need you to go back and look at this list. And do you spot any things that like make feel inconsistent with reality?
Yeah, what the hell?
The kids are out there singing the Engelbert Humperdinks.
How does this song go?
I can't go anywhere.
Please, someone.
I just listened to it for a beat, and I've never heard it in my entire life. That's insane. I think all we're learning is that karaoke is secretly 75 years old.
No, I think this list is just insane because it's a YouTube channel. They're only going to be able to post like what they can get away with posting, right?
The only song that really makes sense is Zombie in a weird way. I don't get it.
Right?
Sweet Child of Mine, right? Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
But nothing else.
Like, there's nothing from Journey. Like, I feel like Glee raised the Journey stock significantly.
How is any way you want it not on this
list?
Right.
There's way too many songs missing from this for this to be anywhere near what is actually the top pick songs at a karaoke bar.
I don't even like the Beatles, but how are the Beatles not on here?
Yeah.
Here's what I need. Ben, keep sending in emails like this. I know you're a busy guy, but if like this made my day. This is the most insane email I've seen in a long time, and that's the energy that you bring, and I love it.
Yeah.
Ben Hansen, an amazing person.
Yeah, hopefully you hear this on whatever planet you're from.
Ben could be here right now.
Yeah, we don't know. He could be invisible behind me. I mean, that's Ben. God. We don't know.
Shouts out to the whole crew at Min-Max. Always great stuff. Love Min-Max. All right, next email. 2 more in the tank here. We got Joe in Michigan. I just wanted to thank Jan for getting me into the world of lever espresso machines.
Nice.
My wife thinks I'm a pervert because I bought I bought a mirror to watch my bottomless portafilter while it pours, but my espresso ritual has never been more pleasurable. Joe in Michigan. I just want to take this opportunity to let everyone know I've already fallen back onto the coffee wagon. I did 1 week no coffee, y'all, and let me tell y'all, I was miserable.
That fuck you up?
No, we knew.
I think it did. I think it did. But I've only done 1 cup because apparently 60 grams of beans is too much for one person to have, according to everyone that's messaged me. You're not my doctor.
How much is?
Did your doctor also message you though?
It's funny, you know. They were like, "Yo, calm the fuck down."
How much is that in real life?
All right. So based off of my guesstimations and calculations, right? I use 30 grams for 2 cups of coffee, so that's 4 cups of coffee. How's that bad?
Wait, so you were having
like
8?
A pot.
No, I was having 4 cups of coffee a day.
That's like a pot of coffee, right?
Yeah.
No,
that's a lot.
It's a lot. Like if I have more than 1, oh no, I'm sorry. If I have more than like 2, I'm a wreck.
It was.
Listen, I can't judge you. I fuck myself up with caffeine all day long. It's
amen,
miserable.
baby. Yeah, it's miserable. Let me tell you, it's miserable. Yeah. Matcha was not. It was pleasant, and I do enjoy the taste, but it was not giving me like the spike that I need in the morning.
Yeah,
right.
God. I get it.
Like caffeine, it inhibits the thing in your body that makes you feel sleepiness, and it's like that's what I need. I need a drug that goes into my body and just says, "Hey, you need to stop working for now. Like we're gonna turn you off a body part inside of you." I'm like, do that to me.
I think what coffee does for me is less the wake up and more of just like it's just like it's just a traditional like day starter. You know, I don't finish coffee and I'm like, I'm wired up. Or maybe I'm sure it's still happening under the hood, but I'm more obsessed with like the taste and the tradition of it. Is that like?
Yeah, no, I think
it's very meditative. Yeah.
And it's not like it has like a reliable effect either. Like it's like different days, and depending on like what time of day you take it, and if you have it like too early, it's not gonna be great for you. And if you wait an hour, that's good. But if you wait too long, it's gonna mess up your day. So it's like it's kind of a crapshoot a little bit. For me, it's just like
it is a crapshoot for sure.
Because it makes me aware of my skeleton. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. I can like feel my bones vibrate a little bit. So
speaking of crapshoot, someone in the chat reminded me, yes, it does do its diuretic purpose for me, and I love that about it. So it is a crapshoot.
Yeah, the thing is, I love coffee too much.
It's so good. I get it.
Hey, next time there's a GDC, folks, and folks are in town, sign up for the Janichoa coffee tour. We're all just going to be really wired and amped up all day, and then crash immediately at 4 p.m. and then continue going with like the 1 or 2 shops that are open late. All right, last email of the show comes from Jeff in Quebec City. This is about famous people. Hey, crew. This one was interesting over family brunch this weekend. Which famous persons were born in your hometown? Not country, not state, town. If you don't know, it's easily Googleable. For me, it's actor Michael Mando Voss from Far Cry, and Palm Clementif, Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, comedian Norm Macdonald, and a bunch of NHL players, including Patrick Roy and Patrice Bergeron.
It's Patrick Waugh, but you shouldn't know that. That's not your fault.
That's fine. Yes. We're not going to hold it against you.
Cheers. Jeff from Quebec City.
All right. I'm Googling. Give me a second. Hey, Danny DeKaiser was born in Macomb Township, where I'm from. You remember Danny DeKaiser, Beckler? Yeah. That's he's a hockey player. Everybody. He's got to be retired, I think.
Yeah.
He was his last season he was pretty injured and stuff.
I've got to high school with Paul Wesley, who his real name is Paul Wazalewski. He was on Vampire Diaries for a while, and now he's on Star Trek. He's like, I think he's the new Picard.
Daly City famous people. How come I'm not on this list? No.
Kirk, thank you. Yeah, I used to be good friends with him in high school. And then Melissa Rauch, she was on Big Bang. and now she's the night court judge, the new night court judge.
Oh, interesting. I put it to Daly City instead of San Francisco, and I think the two most notable ones here, Sam Rockwell, which is news to me.
Damn.
And John Madden. So.
Oh wow.
Oh, all right.
There we go. I don't know. Wikipedia.
Rob Van Dam is from down the street from me.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got another.
Steven Seagal's from Lansing. That's not anywhere near where I was born, but also I renounced Steven Seagal. Sorry, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah.
That's it for famous people in Daly City. I'll give me a Wikipedia account and then I'll add my name to the list.
Yeah, let's do that.
John Smoltz is from Warren.
John Smoltz?
Wait, Derek Jeter?
J-Lo's ex-husband?
This is not as fun of a game as I thought it would be.
Yeah, Ben Carson's from Detroit.
Oh, well, that's fun. Well, you can send your fun emails too and your fun games, whether or not they are fun or not fun. And I don't know, write in about karaoke. What's your favorite song? What's your least favorite song?
Someone give me a real list about karaoke. Give me the real list.
Should people be allowed to rap at karaoke? That's a question I need answered.
I mean, listen, if you pay the white boy tax, then maybe you can get up there and do it. But otherwise,
you know
leave it to the professionals.
You know who grew up in my town a couple years before me?
Who?
Cal Penn.
Oh,
that's cool. There we go.
I love Cal.
Yeah. All right. Bombcast Giant Bomb is the email address to send those emails to, and hey, send them in. If we don't read them on the show, guaranteed we at least do read them. Sometimes we just run out of time, and sometimes other circumstances. And folks, now it is time for shout-outs. Shout-outs are found on the Living Google Doc, perhaps the best social media out on the web today. Shout-outs today, you can get them in while it's still hot. We got Comic Sans, Dyslexic People, The Devil, Mike's Package, shouting out Janiel for letting his Draymond freak flag fly, also YJan, Sports Boys and Sports They Have to Play, Oopsie Doopsie, Fucky Wucky, Perrier, Michael Thornton, me, Jeff Bacalar, Beth Jacalar, John Balaclava, fellow Squeamies, Mega Man, Mega Jan, Jacking Out, Jacking On. I can't stop saying work and shoot, and my friends stop talking to me for shoot. I forget which one is work and which one is shoot every single time they bring it up. My internal monologue said, shoot, it's over. Tucker Carlson's Empty Desk, Oceans, Johnny Margaritaville, Ashton Kutcher's Steve Jobs movie. That's a bad movie. Hot Rogs in Your Area, Benjamin Franklin, Getting Wet and Universal Studios, Dan, and Lime Juice. Folks, thank you. And shouts out to all y'all. Shouts out to you at home. Shouts out to you, Jeff Bacalar, to you, Jeff Grubb. And hey, you know what? Here's a fun little treat for everyone today. 20 podcast points. There you go.
Hey.
There you go. Put it on the books. I'm not reading anything else on the shout out list. Stop adding stuff. And we got a packed week this week. We got another episode of Hyrule Hustle. The Blight continues with Robo Mitch. We got an episode of UPF this week. Jeff Jeffs as well. Game Mess for the rest of the week. Voicemail Dump Truck as well. Those videos that we shot will eventually come out, I swear to God. And another episode of the Giant Bombcast. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
The Giant Bombcast is over.